Hello everyone and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In Forrester's design office, Brooke tells Steffy they were agitating Carter's offer. Steffy says she was just speaking to her father and forefather about it. Carter asks what they had to say. In the main office, Eric tells Ridge it feels funny to have to go against an idea of Carter's. Ridge says this was different, this was huge. They agree it's not right for Forrester. A knock comes at the door and Ivy and Elektra come in. They rush over to clinch the two men. Ridge can't get over Elektra being grown up. Eric's so happy the two of them are there. The further Forresters then, the better. Ridge understands they've some big ideas for the jewelry line. Eric invites Ivy to make her pitch to Ridge right now. Ridge would love to hear what she has to say. Ivy asks Ridge, "Indeed, though your son formerly turned it down?" In the design office, Steffy tells Carter his ideas are bigger and unsafe than a new line. Carter thinks it would be worth it. Hope thinks his ideas earn consideration. Steffy eyes Hope and tells Carter to be careful with her. She wouldn't be surprised if the only reason she's backing him is to keep her line alive. Further, Jacqueline McInnes would drops fashion show Hope complains about Steffy being obnoxious. Brooke asks if she really thinks her son would deign so low as to take advantage of Carter. Steffy says she'll do anything to get what she wants. She's Carter's friend and is looking out for him. Hope says he's her friend too. That's why he has her support. Carter says he believes in Hope for the future because it's good for the company. Hope chimes in that she supports Carter's offer because it's good for the company. Carter tells Steffy that Forrester needs to evolve. Steffy says he knows where she stands. He asks about Eric and Ridge. Steffy says he can talk to them himself. Carter will show them what he's been working on. Hope's sure they'll hear rather of just shutting him down. Steffy narrows her eyes and asks for a moment alone with Hope. In the main office, Ivy tells Ridge she's been sketching since she heard Quinn had left and has drawn up a business plan. He knows the rest of the story. Ridge says Steffy didn't suppose it was the right time to relaunch it. Ivy thinks that Steffy turning down the offer is particular. Ridge asks to see her portfolio. After looking, Ridge tells Ivy it's emotional. Ivy wants Forrester to have its own unique, distinct take on jewelry. Ridge says it's veritably different than what they've had ahead. He hands back the portfolio. Ivy tells him they appreciate his time. Ridge thinks it would be wise to renew the line. Eric agrees it would be a big mistake not to. Ivy and Elektra celebrate. Ridge assures them he'll talk to Steffy. Eric chortles that this is how you make a heritage. In the slice room, Brooke tells Carter the last thing she anticipated to see moment was him half-naked on top of her son. Carter chuckles. That's not how they wanted her to find out. Brooke warns that Hope's had a hard time recently. Carter cares deeply about Hope and would no way do anything to hurt her, however. He'd walk down. If he didn't, suppose he could be the man she deserves. He goes on that he's always respected Hope and what she stands for. He lists her attributes. Brooke repeats that she's having a veritably grueling time going back to her relationship with Liam ending. She complains that Hope forgave him multitudinous times, but when she made a mistake, he ended their marriage. They bandy Hope and Thomas. Brooke thinks she liked his fidelity, but couldn't marry him. Now, Steffy keeps hanging to pull her line and it's particular. Everything is particular with Steffy. If he really wants to be in Hope's life, he can't waver. Carter says she can lean on him and he won't budge. She'll no way have to question his fidelity. I can promise you that. In the design office, Steffy tells Hope that Carter's unforeseen defense of her and her line isn't making sense. What's going on with the two of you? Hope says they're musketeers and associates. Steffy has always admired Carter's business wit and instincts, but now not so important. Hope says this is Carter they're talking about, how frequently have his instincts been wrong? She complains that he's always had big ideas but perhaps felt he couldn't partake them because they'd fall on deaf cognizance. Steffy says Carter is always heard there. He's part of their family. Hope snaps. Also, perhaps you should believe in him. Steffy squints. Like you? Why do you believe in him? She asks if Hope's belief in Carter is just a ploy to get her line off the mincing block. In the main office, Brooke and Ridge kiss. He tells her there's a lot to suppose about recently. Brooke saw Ivy leaving. Ridge says Elektra was with her. He looked at their portfolio and it's really good. He's going to ask Ivy to reboot the jewelry line. Brooke aloud. Steffy nixed it. Ridge will talk to her. She asks if he'll also talk to her about all the pitfalls she's timbered to Hope in her line. Ridge says they're not pitfalls. This is business, you've seen the figures. Brooke has and admits it's a pause, but it'll bounce back. Ridge hopes so, and so does Steffy. Brooke questions if Steffy does. Ridge brings up Hope kissing Finn. Brooke assures him it won't be again, she's no longer interested in him. In the design office, Hope tells Steffy her allegations are unethical. Steffy says that doesn't mean they're not true. Hope would no way take advantage of Carter. Steffy points out she took advantage of her family, and also kissed her hubby. She'll do whatever it takes to get what she wants. Hope made a mistake and it'll no way be again. She has no passions for her hubby and it'll no way be again. Carter listens at the door as Steffy warns if she ever crosses the line with Finn again, she and her line are done. Carter thunderclaps. Enough? He asks Steffy if she's using her powers as co-CEO to hang Hope. You have no right to speak to her that way. She was wrong to kiss Finn, but she can't use her position to discipline her. The division hurts the company. Brooke and Hope's benefactions over the times are the very effects she and her family benefit from. Steffy, looking amused, says she's always encouraged everyone to partake their studies, but despite his passions about the opinion she makes as CEO, I'm still your master. Some of the effects he's been doing recently are enough questionable. Him defending Hope and Brooke isn't helping. She says to Hope, I'm advising you. Stay down from Finn. She walks out. Carter tells Hope that Steffy's way out of line and he won't stand for it. He won't let anyone talk down to her. He'll always be there to defend her. Brooke Logan helped Carter Walton and Hope Logan cover with Steffy Forrester in the design office. Steffy kept demanding to know what was going on, but Brooke said they were just talking about the before meeting and Carter's expansion plans. Steffy acted like Carter's ideas were too ambitious to come a reality, and eventually advised him to be careful with Hope. After Steffy said she wouldn't be surprised if Hope was only backing Carter to keep her line alive, Brooke was offended and wondered if Steffy actually allowed Hope would deign so low. Steffy easily did suppose that, but Carter claimed he supported Hope for the future because he believed in it. After Steffy suggested about Ridge Forrester and Eric Forrester allowing Carter's plan was a altitudinous order, she prompted him to talk to her father and granddad himself. Steffy eventually pushed for a moment alone with Hope, and asked her what was going on with Carter since his unforeseen defense of her line didn't add up. Away, Carter made a speech to Brooke about how Hope would no way have to question his fidelity. There would no way be a day when Hope didn't have Carter's support. Back with Steffy, she continued grilling Hope about the strange Carter situation. Hope argued they were just musketeers and associates before defending Carter's luxury brand pitch. Steffy asked if Hope believed in Carter because of his big ideas or to get Hope for the future off the mincing block. Hope claimed she'd no way take advantage of Carter, but Steffy combated that she took advantage of Thomas Forrester by using him as an answer. Hope also went after John Finnegan, so Steffy blustered about that and made it clear that the only reason Hope's line was alive was because of her. Still, also she was done and so was Hope for the future if Hope crossed the line again. Carter eavesdropped Steffy hanging Hope and slogged in as he declared that was enough. After Carter suggested Steffy was abusing her power as CEO, he advised her to stop hanging the Logans and start appreciating their benefactions. Steffy heard Carter out, but she eventually claimed she was still his master, and that he'd been doing some questionable effects recently. Defending Hope and Brooke wasn't helping matters as far as Steffy was concerned. After Steffy formally again advised Hope to stay down from Finn, she ambled out. Carter told Hope that Steffy was way out of line and that he refused to stand for it. Although Hope prompted Carter not to get in the middle of this, Carter claimed it was too late and that he meant it when he said he'd her back. Hope sounded touched as Carter said he'd always be there to defend her. In the CEO office, Eric told Ridge that it felt weird having to go against Carter, but his pitch just wasn't right for Forrester Creations. Once Ivy Forrester arrived with Electra Forrester, Ridge prompted them to make their pitch despite Steffy's rejection. Ridge was impressed with Ivy's portfolio, so Ivy admitted she allowed. Steffy was letting particular issues cloud her judgment. After Ridge decided reviving the jewelry line was a good idea, Eric wholeheartedly agreed. Ivy and Electra celebrated as Eric suggested it was nice having redundant foresters around since this was how you erected a heritage. As for Steffy, Ridge agreed to talk to her and get her on board with reviving the jewelry line after all. Brooke caught up with Ridge, who verified he wanted Ivy to revive the jewelry line with Electra as her adjunct. Brooke asked if Ridge could tell Steffy to stop with all the pitfalls while he was at it. Once Brooke complained about Steffy hanging to cut Hope's line again and letting her misprision for Hope affect her judgment, the content of Finn came up. Brooke assured Ridge that he didn't have to worry since Hope was no longer interested in Finn. Hope and Carter's love is sure to beget plenitude of drama as this plot moves along. So we'll pass along prognostications on all the fermentation and terrible news ahead.